Okay, number 11. Is this a valid argument? Every cat has a comb. That's an interesting statement. Okay, so forget what a cat is and what a comb is. Okay, every A has a B. Maybe that's a way to think about this, so you don't get distracted by what is real and so on. But anyway, every cat has a comb. So you have a cat circle, and you have a combs circle. Right. So every cat has a comb. You don't have a comb. See, the fact that you don't have a comb, or the statement that you do not have a comb, puts you outside of the outer circle, and therefore you are not a cat, right? If you're over here and you are absolutely certain you're over here, then there's no way you can be inside of the inner circle. So this is actually a valid argument. Basically, what you're stating, and this is called the modus tollens, right? Because you're saying if P then Q, not Q, therefore not P. And this is our argument by contrapositive. And remember, contrapositive is equivalent to the original statement, right? And so this is a valid argument. You have to use the word valid as a part of your answer. And what's the reason for it? And you also should have the Venn diagram. And this is valid. Argument by contrapositive. The being outside the outer circle in the Venn diagram implies being outside of the inner circle. You have to be, okay? There's no chance that you can be inside of the inner circle if you're outside of the outer circle. Right. Okay, number 12. The judge opposes, ooh, that's a hard one. Huh? The judge opposes a travel ban from Italy. Does the judge welcome travels from Italy? This question involves obviously multiple negatives, right? So you can maybe think about this judge opposing the travel ban from Italy, not travel from Italy. Now, travel ban means the negation, right? If you assume, or if you like, here, let's go ahead and underline this. If you support the travel ban from Italy, that means you do not welcome the people from Italy. But if you oppose the ban, then you do welcome travelers from Italy, right? This is actually a pretty simple double negation. And so I don't think this is a hard question. The judge opposes a ban from Italy. So the judge welcomes travelers from Italy. Okay, because he or she is opposing a ban from Italy. I like this judge. I like people from Italy. All right, verse number 13. You bought a new backpack. Let's see. We need to work this out. You bought a backpack for $42. Okay, and that was 60% off of the regular price. Lucky you. What was the regular price? All right. So remember, you are not going to. All right. So do not find 60% of $42. If you do that, you get the wrong answer. You are not going to get any partial credit. I've said this before, right? This is the wrong thing to do, but it is so common to make this mistake. I'm fighting my war against this wrong concept, so you will not get any partial credit. Think about this. If you have purchased this at 60% off, that means you paid 40% of the original price, which was $42, right? Okay, so the question is 40% of what is $42? So the answer is $42 divided by 0.4. Okay, this is the only way to get this answer. You have to divide 42 by 0.4. And so you get 105, and this is the correct answer, $105, 60% off. And by the way, 10% of this is 10.5, 60% off. Okay, so you can check this answer. 60% of 105 is what? Okay, you can do this on your calculator because you are allowed to have your calculator on your exam. This is $63. Okay, so if you subtract 63 from 105, you get $42, and you know that your answer is correct, right? So there's an easy way to check your answer. The answer is 105, $105, $105 backpack. That is too expensive. I wouldn't buy that, but I would buy it if it's $42. Number 14, suppose the number of flu patients has increased by 8% to 4320 this week. All right. Again, do not find 8% of 4,320. You will get no partial credit for the same reason. How many patients were there before the increase? All right, so the correct way to think about this is 108% of that previous value is 4,320. So what you have to do is to divide 4,320 by 1.08. Remember, 108% is 1.08. You divide 4,320 by 1.08. The answer is precisely 4,000, and that is your answer. And you can calculate this. You know, what's 8% of 4,000? That's 320. Add 320 to 4,000, and you will get this answer, right? I mean, so that is the way to check for the correct answer, and you know that now you have the correct answer of 4,000. Number 15, your restaurant bill was $56. If 15% is considered a minimum tip percentage, that's sort of, you know, maybe that was an accepted percent. Maybe it's higher now. But if you were to add 15%, how much tip should you leave at least? Okay, so 56%. The question now is, what is 15% of 56, right? So really, all you have to do is to multiply 56 by 15. And all you have to do is to do this. You can do this on your calculator. The answer is $8.40. That would be the 15% tip for $56. I probably would put about $10, maybe even more, to help support these workers. All right, so that's the next, the third set of 5 questions. In the fourth part, we will start with number 16.